Hello everyone, I'm Drew. Welcome to the Fire Artisan channel. If this is your first time to the channel and you like this video, remember to subscribe. I would really appreciate the support. So today we are playing some Esper Vampires. This one is not an original of mine. This actually finished in the recent Untapped Red Bull tournament, and it was piloted and brewed by Colron Chambers. I'm not sure if I'm saying that name right, but I saw the list. I was just looking through all the decks that placed in the tournament, and I saw this list, and I was so excited, just with what it's doing, and it's one of the craziest decks that I've ever seen in this metagame, but it also makes a lot of sense, and it's well built. So I've had a lot of fun exploring it, and I wanted to bring it to you just because I just think it's almost inspirational, this kind of brew, to bring it to a major event. I absolutely love that. So I would love to, so I'm happy to take a video to just feature this deck. There is, before I go into the deck, there is one difference between this list that I'm playing here and the original one. So I don't have an extra mythic rare. You all know how it is, like only so many. I would have, the original deck is playing with 2 Haunt of Hightowers, and I'm only playing with 1. And so I actually I put in a second Cavalier of Night. The original deck only had 1 Cavalier and then 2 Haunt of Hightowers. So I just put in a second Cavalier. I thought that was a pretty appropriate substitution, but just so you know, if you want the exact deck, you're going to want 2 Haunts and just 1 Cavalier. So as you can see, this is a Yorion deck, number 1. It's a Yorion Vampire Graveyard Life Gain Synergy deck. All of that stuff is important, and it all sort of works together. As you can see, color-wise, it's primarily a black deck, although we are also playing with white and blue, so it is Esper. But yeah, it is a Yorion deck, so we have 80 cards in the deck. That's why, you know, it looks like there are so many cards that you're seeing. So the foundation of it is that it is a creature deck with a decent amount of vampires. So he is not a vampire. The vessel is mostly here for because it has great graveyard synergy with this deck, and I will sort of show you that more as we go on. But you know, you can also play it as 1-drop. It's really important in this deck for things to have lifelink, because we are playing with 4 copies of Veto, which fans of the channel will know is a card that I'm very fond of, and that is a lot of fun. So one thing this deck is already doing, one general theme of this deck that you should be aware of, is that there's a ton of life gain. Okay, so that's number 1. Virtually every card in the deck has lifelink, which is why when I was thinking what's a good replacement for Haunt of Hightower, had to be something with lifelink. You know, that synergy is just really, really important to this deck's functioning. Vampire of the Dire Moon, lifelink, it's a vampire, solid card. We've got Erebos Intervention, another card that I'm very fond of, as people know. Fae of Wishes is a really interesting card for Chambers to have included. I'll show you what we can grab here with it. We can grab, we can grab anything in our sideboard. Pretty flexible. I mean, they were grabbing Sorcerer's Spyglass, Elspeth Conquers Death. They could grab Ill-Gotten Inheritance, Kaya. So that's interesting too. I haven't been in a situation yet with this deck where I've grabbed anything with Fae Wishes, but I imagine that's pretty interesting. And worst case scenario, if you're playing against, I guess we can say, a more aggressive deck, because obviously a lot of creature decks are kind of faster out of the gate than this deck. You can drop a, Fae Wishes to slow them down a little bit. Child of Night is hilarious. This is not a card that was ever supposed to see competitive play. It's here as a one-off. It has lifelink. It's 2 power for 2 mana, which is good enough, I guess. And obviously we're playing with 4 copies of Sorin, Imperious Bloodlord, so you do need to have a certain concentration of vampires in the deck. So Child of Night, right? Lampad of Death's Vigil is interesting too. Obviously another life gain card, life drain card for the opponent. This deck obviously has a decent amount of sacrifice synergy. We want stuff to go in the graveyard. So yeah, other than that, solid card, 3 toughness. Mausoleum Secrets. This is another graveyard synergy card. As our graveyard gets really full, we can take a more and more powerful card with this 2-drop instant. So I really like it. Mire Triton, same thing. We fill up our graveyard, we gain life. It's got Death Touch. It's a 2-power, 2-mana creature. It's kind of everything we want here. It's got a foot in every camp that we want to be in. Timurit, same thing. Really solid card. It's got lifelink. It's a little bit of graveyard hate for the opponent. But usually with this deck, our graveyard gets pretty full. So if we need to gain life for some reason, we can exile some of our own cards. Revival Revenge. So, yeah, 4 copies here. This is a really fun card. Obviously, Revival, we really grab anything from the graveyard. And one powerful grab is Luris, Luris itself. So this is not the companion, obviously. Yorion is our companion, but Luris is just right in the main deck. So can grab him from the graveyard, and then from there on play even more cards from the graveyard. But, you know, there are also other good grabs. You can grab a Veto. You could even grab a Fae of Wishes. Sort of lots of possibilities. Of course, Revenge, coupled with Veto, is insanely powerful. So that's another very fun one. Kind of a lot of raw power in this deck, definitely more so than you would expect from your run-of-the-mill creature deck. Demonic Embrace, I think people are pretty familiar with this card at this point. It's seen a lot of play in black decks already, and it's really powerful. It's only here as a one-off because it's I think you don't need more than one, because it finds its way into the graveyard, and then you can keep recasting it. It is an enchantment, so usually with these auras, you don't want to have too many of them in your deck unless you're sort of an enchantment-based strategy. Gorging Vulture is another really crazy inclusion. This is kind of another card that wasn't really supposed to see much play in Standard, but we're playing it. We get to mill 4 cards, which is what we want to do. We want to fill up our graveyard. We've got 80 cards in the deck, so we're not really worried about milling ourselves to death here. And it has life gain, so it's kind of everything we want. Also a 2/2 flyer, which is fine. The Silver Smoke Ghoul is a key card in the deck. It's a vampire, number 1, and number 2. It just keeps coming back from the graveyard, and it can sacrifice itself for you to sort of gain some card advantage when it will just come back anyway, because you have gained 3 or more life on that given turn. And once this deck gets going, I can tell you from experience that you're almost always gaining at least 3 life every turn. So the ghouls just keep coming back. Sorin needs no introduction. All I'll say about him is that it's really fun to be playing with a deck that he's in. I mean, people kind of thought the vampire thing was over, which is a shame because he's such a powerful planeswalker, and he's still in Standard for the time being. Veto, I've been talking about Veto. 1 copy of Luris, I mentioned that. Oath of Kaya, removal, life gain, stays on the board for extra value. That's kind of what's going on. We have planeswalkers, so its additional text is pretty relevant. Creeping Chill, yeah. So we have a number of cards in this deck where we're milling ourselves, we're filling up our graveyard, and more than you would think, you run into a Creeping Chill and you just get an extra damage, sometimes 6 damage if you have a Veto down. So that's what's going on there, Creeping Chill. Late in the game, if it's tight with the life totals, it can also be relevant to just win the game in sort of a Esper Burn type of fashion, just by hard casting this card. Rankle, he's a troublemaker. Kind of a one-off. It's not much to say about him, just a great card. Comes in with haste. You can do things with him. Sorin, really fun to see this card getting some play. Gives everything lifelink, some recursion from the graveyard, really everything that this deck is trying to do in one 4-mana package. He's not that good, so I think that's why we only have one copy of him. Cavalier of Night, lifelink, destroys stuff, return stuff from the graveyard. Again, everything this deck is trying to do. This one is really interesting. Again, it's more about the graveyard synergy. It makes it much easier for us to cast, especially these more expensive cards from our graveyard. So that's what's going on there. I've never seen this card before until I saw it in this deck list. You know, I had to redeem it, use a wild card to redeem it. And yeah, so that was really interesting. Enter the God Eternals. We're playing with 4 copies. So lifelink, kill something. We mill ourselves for 4 always. Try to hit Creeping Chill. Just a great card in our deck. And we can afford to play with it. Just because we're playing with so many cards. And you'd be surprised. We're only playing with 28 lands for an 80 card deck. But in my experience, we have been getting to 5 mana. Like, this has been a castable card. It hasn't been holding us down that much. Haunt of Hightower, everything we want. It's a vampire. We can minus Sorin to put it down early. Just a really solid card. And Erebos Intervention, which the chemistry that this has with our deck should be pretty obvious, but you know, in my experience, this is going to be best with a copy of Veto down to try to drain our opponent for X. So, but exiling cards from graveyards can also be relevant. Then we're playing with lands. Not too much to say about this mana base. As you can see, we've got a lot of devotion to black because this is mostly a black deck, although we are ultimately in Esper. We're going to be using Fabled Passage to find, you know, some of our other lands wherever we're struggling. And 2 Castle Lochthwains. It's really the only other thing I want to mention. It's perfect for this deck because we can afford to pay life. We end up gaining a ton of life. So that's what's going on here. I'll show you. I did show you the sideboard just because it was relevant with Fae of Wishes, but I'm actually not going to play best of 3s today. I'm just going to do a few best of 1s. For a couple of reasons. I think this is the type of deck where a sampling of the matchups is going to be more interesting than sideboarding. I think our sideboarding power is pretty limited. Number 1, by the fact that we're playing an 80 card deck. And number 2, it almost feels more respectful to the deck not to do a best of 3 because I'm not quite experienced enough with it to feel very comfortable sideboarding or trying to imagine how Chambers would have sideboarded in any given situation. So I'm just going to maybe see the sideboard with Fae of Wishes, show you all the sideboard, and hopefully some of you build this on your own and take it a little farther than I have. Yeah, so we're just going to jump in. Sorry, it was kind of a long introduction there. I guess I just really wanted to give you a sense of this deck so that even if you don't watch the gameplay, you just feel like you have an understanding of Esper Vampires. I mean, it's back. It's very exciting. Now, obviously, it's not the best deck in the metagame, but, you know, in my experience, it's been pretty competitive. So we'll see how we do here. This doesn't strike me as a very good hand. The only early spell is Mausoleum Secrets, and, you know, if we have 0 cards in our graveyard, then there's nothing we can search up. So I think I'm going to send this one back. Oh, this is worse. This is worse. Now I'm thinking, do we keep this or go to 5? Let's see. So if we play the Fabled Passage first, Yeah, this is a really bad hand. I don't know what to do about this. I think I'm going to mull this one as well and just go to 5. All right, so we have to keep this. I'm going to get rid of the 2 expensive cards. I think I'm going to wait on the Fabled Passage, just play the castle this turn. All right, this is looking pretty rough. Maybe I should have just kept that first hand. We are on the play, which is big. We look to be playing Rakdos. Not Rakdos. Potentially Jund. Sacrifice. Oh, that's a good draw. That lines up pretty well with their Gutter Bones. All right, so wisely, they're not going to attack. I think we want to do the Temple this turn. So this is land number 5. I don't know. Do we want it? I don't think so. We've got 4 lands and we really only need 5 to function. We'll hold it back to hold them back. I mean, fortunately for us, this is not a matchup where we're that worried about the cat oven combo just draining us of life. We should have enough life gain that that's not a huge problem. I think I like putting the vulture down first just to start to fill up our graveyard and just have a flyer down to sort of break through this stalemate on the board that's sort of emerging. Oh, high claim the firstborn. Is there any value in us just sacking this? I guess there is. Because they're just going to use Witch's Oven. Yeah. I think that's better than them attacking us with it. and them getting the value on the food. I think that's where we want to be. All right, so as promised, I think I'm going to play the Vulture this turn. All right, yeah, so not off to a great start, I would say, but doing okay. My opponent, I wouldn't say that they're off to that speedy of a start either, so that's okay. I wonder if this is Rakdos or Jund. So far, definitely looks to just be Rakdos. I'm sure they have no idea what we're playing. Like, Gorging Vulture. What is this? Oh, another claim the firstborn. Brutal. All right. Companion in hand for the opponent now. Sorin. All right, so we got 5 lands. We could do Sorin. I mean, we could do Sorin minus to get both of these cards down. So what does that look like? That would mean Sorin would definitely be dead. So I don't love that. If I just put the ghoul down, that's not that exciting either. Yeah, This is rough. This is awkward. I mean, do you just pay for Yori in here? I think I like just playing the vampire this turn and drawing a card. This is the only way we can use all of our mana. I mean, obviously only sacrifice it if that's the play to make. Otherwise, maybe we let it trade with Gutter Bones, which is obviously not that great, but the Ghoul's another like recurring card, so it's not that bad of a trade. We've got to remember to crack the Fabled Passage in response to something like a Mayhem Devil. That's a mistake I definitely have made before. Yeah, so as I'm sure you can tell, this one's not looking good. Not looking good for us. All right, here come the attackers. So Gutterbones just comes back. Should I block and then sacrifice the Ghoul? I don't really love that because then I maybe just play Sorin on an empty board next turn. Yeah. I think maybe you just take 3 here. Weird, my opponent didn't do anything that turn. Okay, so we can play... I think I'll just get another black source. We've got the 2 blues that we need for something like Enter the God Eternals. And we can also cast Yorion with this mana, so I think another black source is fine. I think I am just going to look to play Sorin, put a counter on the Ghoul, attack, gain the life, play Mire Triton, something like that. Not sure what's going on with my opponent. Like, why wouldn't they just play their companion there? My experience, this deck doesn't usually hold up that much mana. All right, so here they go with the sacks. So they'll bring it back to block, but we'll still get the lifelink, which I think is better than, which I think is where we want to be. Oh wait, no we won't. It won't even deal the damage. Yeah. Yeah, that's obvious. They're just going to sack it now. Yeah, this is... Yeah, that's not good. I think maybe we're just dead here. Because now we kind of have to block the Gutter Bones. Maybe we were just in a no-win situation there. So if I hadn't attacked, I would just have a 4-2... Oh, yes. We hit a Creeping Chill. Yes. Oh, my God. Let's go. We're back in this. I love that. I love that. Oh, no. And now we're out of it again. What a weird game. I think we want to just kill their Gutter Bones to tax their mana a little bit. Yeah, That seems fine. So Yorion's not going to be an option for next turn. We really need to draw maybe like an Enter the God Eternals to get rid of this Mayhem Devil. Oh no, we don't even need one. We can just sack... Oof. Do they have enough pings to just... Yeah, they've got plenty of pings to just kill both of these ghouls. This is really bad. Alright, we definitely need to find a way to gain 3 life next turn. Or just a vampire to sacrifice to kill this Mayhem Devil. Probably the best draw is just like a 1/1 vampire. Vampire of the Dire Moon. That's the draw. Alright, drum roll. Oh, it's a veto. That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Okay, so... Do we just want to sacrifice him to kill... Oh, crap. Alright, plugging my computer in. Alright, it is plugged in. Yeah, so if we sacrifice him to kill the Mayhem Devil... I think we have to do that, because if we just let them untap... Then I think we're just dead. Okay, so we're going to bring back our 2 friends. They'll get some extra pings. Maybe we're just dead on this attack. I think this isn't enough. I think this is the best we could do, but it's not enough. Let's see. So they've got 3 on this attack. And then... Oh, well now it's definitely over. I don't think they had it, but now they definitely have it. Okay, it doesn't have haste, but I think with the ping, so 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, it should be plenty. Oh, and they have a Fabled Passage. Maybe we'll make them go through the motions here. Longtime fans of the channel will know that I'm not really one to give up before it's actually over. But now it's actually over. Yeah. Good work from the opponent. Proud of them. We are just a little bit down in Diamond as a result. But we'll jump in. Maybe next game will go better. I mean, I think that was enough to see a lot of the synergies of the deck. I mean, that doesn't strike me as a very good matchup just because, mostly because of Mayhem Devil and the Cat. Just very annoying cards. Especially Mayhem Devil just picking off all of our 1 toughness vampires. That wasn't good. I think I'm going to keep this one. This looks... I mean, it's a little bit of a crazy hand, but I think this is about as good as these hands are going to get. I think I just want to take the damage to play the vampire here. I think we can be a little bit liberal with taking damage just because we are gaining so much life. All right, my opponent hasn't done anything so far. And by the looks of it, we don't have anything to do on turn 2 here. But we do have a turn 3 Sorin, which looks pretty good. Alright, I'm going to try to organize this crazy hand of ours. Yeah, all the Sorins in the world. Maybe my opponent is holding up something like a Murderous Rider. Interesting play to just minus Sorin to play the Haunt of Hightower. Kind of like that. I kind of really like that, actually. I think we're gonna see that here. Yeah, we're gonna see that. Haunt. Let's go. Don't kill it. Don't kill it. No. You know, on the plus side, we do have a Sorin on the battlefield, which did not get killed by Murderous Rider. Yeah. Maybe we can bring the Haunt back at some point with the Mausoleum or something like that. That's fun, though. That's fun. Maybe that wasn't the play. I just so wanted to do that. It was... Oh, no. This is not good. I mean, we do have a backup Sorin, so I think that's... Yeah. Is it just Sorin plus kill Rankle? Probably. Well, I don't know. If we plus on the Vampire, Sorin's not dead to Rankle. But I think Rankle's pretty important to kill here. It's definitely Sorin. And we definitely need to draw lands. I think I like just killing the Rankle. Yeah. I think I like that better than them just killing Sorin. All right, well, there goes Sorin. Yeah, now we got a whole lot of nothing going on. Really need those lands. This is where the 28 lands and an 80 card deck can get you a little bit. All right. Timuret coming down as a 2/2. It's not really where you want to be, especially with an opposing Dread Presence. Oh, and Timuret's gone. Oh no, it's a Liliana. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think we just play this out, right? This is bad. I mean, we want this to make its way to the graveyard, obviously. This is bad, though. I think we just block with it in case we get a Lurrus. Yeah. It's got no value on the battlefield. I think we want it in the graveyard. Okay, so there's our 4th mana. Is Creeping Chill the only thing we can do? Yes. Yes, it is. All right, and they're real close to ultimating Liliana. I think we go with the Creeping Chill. It's hard to exaggerate how bad Creeping Chill is here. Against a deck that has an active Dread Presence and a Liliana and all this nonsense. Yeah. I don't even know what we draw to come back from this. Cavalier of Night does nothing. I know the God Eternals kind of does. Oh my god, and they have an Ugin too. Brutal. This is a cool deck. This is like a mono black control deck. Draw Revival, Revenge. I guess we revival the Vessel. Is it 3 or less? Yeah. I guess that's the play, right? Make a 5/5. Oh, I thought it was a you may exile it. I didn't realize it was a you must exile it. No, it's just exile it. Okay. Oh, Christ. Yeah, what's the one land we want? Probably a Watery Grave. We'll keep the Watery Grave. That'll help us come back from this. All right, well, they mean business, don't they? They're saying, right here, right now, you're done. All right, good game, opponent. Good stuff from them. Really good stuff from them. All right. No worries, friends. We are 0-2. Yeah, unfortunately, this deck did... I think it finished like 1-7 or something. They did get one win in the Untapped Red Bull tournament. But, you know, it's not exactly tier 1. I wouldn't say it's exactly tier 1. But, hey, it's Esper Vampires. And we are having fun. Okay. Yeah, this looks pretty promising. Another Creeping Shell in hand. I mean, in our experience, I think the hands don't get that much better than this. So I think we just keep this for a turn 1 Vessel. I mean, I guess we could have held on to that and discarded it with Rankle. I don't think that's what you want to do. I think you just play it out. Oh, good. So they have an Innkeeper that we can't answer. Might as well attack. And Temple here. Well, we definitely want our 4th land, so I'm going to keep this on top. All right, here we go. It's a new game, fresh start. There is an there's an unanswered Innkeeper on the battlefield, which is not good. Doesn't look like they'll be able to trigger it quite yet. Looks like we're playing Golgari Adventure. I don't know what it is, but my mana is always so awkward when I play Golgari Adventure. It really makes a difference to play 2 colors versus just 1. Do we just slam a Lurrus here? That seems so bad. I think we just do. I mean, or do you just play Yorion? Let's attack first. Let's slam Lurrus. Can Rankle for next turn to that actually looks pretty good. Rankle, everyone sacrifices a creature. Oh, hello card draw. Yeah, everyone sacrifices a creature, we get rid of our Vessel. And then replay with Lurrus on the following turn. Demonic Embrace is interesting. I think Rankle is still the plan though. I wonder what you grab here. So we've got all the black sources that we need, I think. Maybe you grab a blue here just so that we can play Enter the God Eternals. Yeah, I like Rankle here. All right, so I think this is the attack. We will make them sacrifice. I think we should also make them discard a card, actually. Sacrifice, discard. Because I just want to discard this Demonic Embrace. Or do I? Yeah. I think I do. All right. A little bit of ramping with Beanstalk Giant. Tell me it's not into another night. It is not. Ooh, and we've drawn a veto. Okay, so I think I like the Vessel plus veto here. We have the black sources to do it, so, and I like playing this Vessel out before they answer our Lurrus. I think we are just going to attack with Lurrus now that we've done the Vessel thing. I'd be more than happy with this double block. Yeah, I don't think we want them to sacrifice a creature. I am pretty happy to have them discard a card. I don't know. I mean, I have to answer these innkeepers. But am I really going to sacrifice a Lurrus for that? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, let's do this. Discard Creeping Chill. And play Veto. Should have played Veto before combat. That was a mistake. Lurrus has lifelink. On the bright side, my opponent is looking very low on life, and if we slam Sorin for next turn, we did it! Yes! 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 We're back. Esper Vampires, we are back. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Yes. All right, let's go in again. Let's go in again. One more. Yeah. Watch out, standard. Esper Vampires is the new best deck. It's the deck to beat. How do you beat Esper Vampires? Everyone's going to be saying that in the articles. How do you beat Esper Vampires? How do you sideboard against Esper Vampires? This deck comes out of nowhere and it takes over the format. It takes over a mature format. How do you beat an opening hand like this? Do you keep this one? I think so. We're on the draw. Discard the Creeping Chill or the Cavalier of Night. I think it's the Creeping Chill. Or not discard, but send it back. Gilded Goose. Alrighty. Sounds good. And you just know we've got our turn 1 Vampire, the Dire Moon. Mausoleum Secrets for 0 just does nothing, right? Yes. Currently does nothing. Oh, another land is a good draw. That's a really strong draw. So this is a flyer. They just mutated onto the Gilded Goose. That's hilarious. I have never seen that play. Might as well attack, right? And I don't want to cost the secrets for 0. All right. So Gem Razor is a real problem. Would love to draw a Rankle to deal with that. Another Godless Shrine. Is it Veto here? Or the Ghoul? So the Ghoul's the more aggressive play. But then again, I don't know. Kind of like getting Veto down. No, because if I play the Ghoul, then we both have 3 power on the battlefield. I think that's better. Excuse me, we both have 4 power on the battlefield. So we can actually maybe come back in this race. And then Veto maybe for next turn. Mire Triton is pretty good. So we got 4 mana to spend this turn. I could do let's see. I guess I'm thinking we'd do Mire Triton plus secrets for 2. What could we grab for 2? Like I don't even know. Oh, no. I did it again. I'm attacking when I think I just want to play Veto this turn. That's not good. That's bad magic. I just found myself in combat. You know how that happens? You're daydreaming and then you're just in combat. It was only one point of damage we missed, but you know how these games are. You win and lose on 1 life point sometimes. Land. Yes. That is huge. All right, so we have our 3 black sources for the Cavalier. I think I just want another blue source to be able to cast Enter the God Eternals. I guess I'm just thinking about what I want to do. I think I want to kill the Gem Raiser, in which case I think I might as well just do this before. No, because I think I want to sacrifice the Vampire of the Dire Moon. So let's do this. Let's do it this way. Cavalier. You know what? I think I actually just want to sacrifice the... I've only gained 1 life this turn. This is a little awkward, actually. I think I do just want to sacrifice the Vampire of the Dire Moon. All right, so we look to be ahead here. Let's see what my opponent has cooked up now. Ooh, they just pass. Yeah, they're in serious trouble. So we're going to gain enough life to just bring this back anyway. And, I guess we could just kind of go aggro. We'll see about these blocks. If we give everything lifelink, get an extra 3 damage on them. Yeah, I mean, depending on how they block, we could put them in a very difficult spot this turn. So what is it? Creatures gain lifelink? Yeah. Okay. I think I'd rather play out my cards. Revival Revenge. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this game's over. This deck worked so well this game. This has been amazing. I'm really happy I actually put in an extra Cavalier of Night. That card is really great in this matchup. Wait, why did our graveyard just go from 2 to 3? Oh, because, of course, the Ghoul came back. All right, obviously Nis is good. It is not enough here. We just have so many ways to hurt them. I actually don't think I want to cast the Mausoleum Secrets because then I would shuffle away the Revival Revenge. Yay, we did it. Oh my god. We went 2 and 2. That's so good. Yeah. All right, if you just want to... I was about to say if you want to move up on Diamond, but we kind of stayed even. If you want to stay even on Diamond and just play a bunch of games and kind of stay right where you are, this is the deck for you. Then again, you could pilot it better than I have. I kept I kept missing out on those veto triggers, so which is a crime. So maybe we could have won an additional game or something like that. This has been Colron Chambers Esper Vampires, with just 1 card different, but it is essentially their list. All credit goes to them. They competed with it in this Untapped Red Bull tournament, and I was just so inspired by this list. I'm so just glad to show it to you. I think more people should be aware of this deck. It is so fun to play. It's a great idea. It has great synergy, and I'm very happy to be making a video about it. Yeah. So thank you for watching. I will link the original deck list in the description, and I will see you next time. Yeah. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.